Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Fabs in the house, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm in the house with the Grimsmo Knives, proudly made in Canada, Rask, for a review. And I'm gonna analyze the look, the sound, and the feel of this bad boy. But don't forget, like, subscribe, leave me a comment down below. That was easy. You can do this. Come on, guys, let's do it. Let's go ahead, check this bad boy, which comes nice hard case. See, with nice 3D sticker. They take care of that. Look at the foam, the custom cut insert. This guy comes, of course, with the knife, with a T9 Bondhouse, made in USA Torx bit, which is going to be needed to take this guy apart, and a 10 weight nano oil. Here you go. Needle applicator, let's call it that way, pen. And underneath, don't forget to lift the thing, you're gonna get your certificate of authenticity and a sticker from Grimsmo Knives. Very cool packaging indeed. And inside you're gonna find this fella right there, which has a 3.25 inch long cutting edge and 3.5 inch long blade, 4.5 for the handle, and 8, a little bit over 8 for the overall length. And another couple that I want to show you right over here. I got this Kaha from North Arm Knives, also Canadian, and Hinder Knives XM18. So you get like to see something pretty much in the same realm of the Rask. Let me show you another couple here. I got Spyderco Para 3 and Paramilitary 2, and you get to see that we are pretty much at the same size of the Paramilitary 2, so not a small knife. Another couple offerings here I got from Chris Reeve Knives, large and small Sebenza 21. We are a little bit smaller and a little bit bigger, so always nice when a knife falls into those two categories, let's say. Like, for example, here you have Old Bladeworks Spectre and Haptic, and you get to see the Rask is just, again, in between, just a little bit, I would say a tiny bit smaller than that, than the Spectre, but definitely smaller than the Haptic. We are going to do a little comparison between these two fellas shortly, so stay tuned for that. Of course, as usual, how can I not show you these two beauties? F3 and S Neon NL Shirogoro Custom Division, and look at that. Again, this fella right in between these two gorgeous models from Russia. But here we have a gorgeous model from Canada, which is a titanium frame lock. It is a CNC machined by a pretty sophisticated numeric control machine, like in this case the Kern 5, I believe. So there is like 5-axis machine milling these parts, and that's crazy. I mean, this is $1,000 knife, so someone should expect perfection from something like this, and it's close to perfect. Yeah, it's not perfect, but it's close. It's very well made. It's a titanium frame lock. In this case, we have a blue anodized and tumbled set of scales with some nice chamfering, which widens on the heel, as you can see right over here. Internal chamfering, you get internal skeletonization like crazy. You can also check out my maintenance video if you want to see how cool is the inside. They even engraved the time to the second when this knife was produced, and there's some little quirks, like for example, I don't know if you can see right there, there's Rask engraved in the lock bar cutout relief, so little tiny little details. For example, around the bearings you have Grimsmo engraved. There are cool details. They add up, of course, to contribute to make this $1,000 knife, which is a lot of money. You have a nice sweeping finger groove right over here. That's pretty good. No backspacer option, just a couple of titanium standoffs. In this case are bronze anodized, screwed from both sides. That's good. And then you have the blade centering, which in my case, I really just noticed that is a tiny bit off center, but just like a fraction. I mean, it's really a fraction. It's center, yeah, but upon close inspection, it is favoring a little bit, like probably 1% this side. And that was honestly disappointing because it shouldn't be like that. They should be perfect. I handled a lot of these guys, and this is the only one like that. So I'm just gonna assume this is a fluke. And I mean, we are talking about imperceptible off-centering. It's kind of like embarrassing even define this off-center, but still to my eye it's not 100%, maybe it's 99, but still the tip, it's not snaggable, so it's very safely recessed down there. The overall look when closed is super sleek. I love when the blade just follows the profile of the scales. That's pretty cool. Flipper tab is also my second nitpick on this one, because there's no way you're gonna be able to do the push button. The jimping is very slippery. It's not like grippy at all, but only works for light switch deployment mechanism. The screws are beautifully done, like absolutely flush with the scale, the same height, I would say. The pivot also completely flush, not spinning. It's captive, and it's captive on this side, of course. Really easy to take apart. It's gonna take like 5 minutes. You get a stainless steel lock face insert, which is invisible. Look at that. It's right over here, screwed in from the inside with 2 screws. It's a very cool design, nicely fitted. It has an over travel lock bar stabilizer integrated. You have an internal cut out like lock bar relief right over here with this little detail that I showed you before, and a ceramic detent ball right over here. And it's very cool. I mean, the access to the tang of the blade is very neat. It's very smooth. It's just a little step, but it's absolutely well done. You get a titanium 3D milled pocket clip, non-reversible, tip-up carry only, kind of like deep carry, which is looking good and absolutely functional. And then you get this RWL34 steel blade. In this case, we have an acid etch and tumbled finish for this flat grind, gimpless, and there's a little bit of chamfering on this drop point blade with 20% belly, I'd say, straight edge up to the very unique sharpening choil. Look at that. It's right over there. And then here, this acts as a finger choil because it's nicely rounded off, so you definitely can choke it up, but there's no jimping here. So, yeah, it doesn't really... I would have preferred a little bit of more grippiness to this blade right here. Then you have, of course, there's no billboarding going on. Pretty cool plunge grind. It's flat grind. And let's check... the stock thickness for this fella right over here. Let's zero this thing. And we get 0.123. And let's see behind the edge. This thing should be pretty thin, 0.014. So that's very nice and slicey, pretty cool indeed. What I also like is the sound. Especially the closing sound. It's dry, there's no resounding, no clanging. It's not actually not that loud, but it's pleasant. It's not the best sounding knife ever. Like, for example, just to give you like a comparison, this is one of the best sounding knives that I have, but that's still not too bad. Also, let's quickly check the weight, because that's probably one of my nitpicks. Like, it's a paradox. I'm happy when the knife is light, but 3.1 ounces, it kind of is borderline. Like, it feels, I don't want to say flimsy, but it doesn't feel like a beast, like sturdy, like something super robust, which I'm sure it is, but it's just like a feel that in the hand, it's kind of like a little bit too light. And again, this is a paradox, because I'm happy when the knife is light, but in this case, I don't know why. The feel is just a little bit off. What is on 100% is the fact that there's no sharp corners, no sharp edges. It is really well rounded off all around. A little bit on the slippery side, in this case, because you get a smooth set of scales. You can find milled out scales with some bent starburst pattern, which is gorgeous and more grippy for sure. So you're gonna have a little bit of texture on the surface, so less slippery. Fit and finish, guys, is superb. Everything is pretty much perfect going on in the assembly, everything. I don't see any gaps. No rattling. It's well put together. There's of course no blade play, lock rock. It's super solid knife. What is amazing, of course, is the action, guys. This is ridiculous. And there's something that I want to show you about the action, because it's a very peculiar one, and this is kind of like a challenge that I got for you. So try to grab any knife, all right? Hold it like this, open it up, disengage the lock bar, and then see when the detent ball just engages the blade, right? So like in this case, you see it just is free to, it's just past that point. So if I'm holding this thing in the vertical position, nothing happens, all right? But if I move the heel of the blade in this direction, so pivoting here and moving here, the blade closes. Try with your knife. Let me know if your knife is doing, like, you just hold it like that, all right? And angle it back. Not like this, but like that. This guy closes. That means it's a gorgeous action. Really one of the best action in the business. Very pleasant. It's unique. It's very nice. It's very pleasant. Look at that. You have, of course, guillotine effect as soon as you see, you're like at this point, boom, it just drop shut, and that's pretty cool. But also try this trick like here. I challenge you. So let me know in the comments down below which of your knives is doing that. I'm gonna give you a hint right over here. All right, so beside that, I mean, of course, this is running on custom bearings right over here, detent, nice and strong. And overall, this is a gorgeous knife. It's $1,000. It's made in Canada, looking amazing. One of the best action. There's a couple of quirks that I still have to go past those, but it's pretty cool and getting close to perfection. So good job. It's not perfect, again, but yeah, I like it a lot. So there you have it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching. Stay tuned.